Hey, Doug, watching that Pistons team, is that kind of the vision that you have for
Yes,
your
sir.
team moving forward?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's hopefully looking right in the mirror right there. You come out and because most nights in our league, when you face people that do that to you, you either don't ring the bell or like we did tonight, we didn't ring in the first half and rung it in the second half, but then sometimes it's just too late. We cut it to 9 with 3:30, but just too much to get over. That level of physicality, that level of aggressiveness, continued touching, holding just at people just for 48 minutes. With these fans hollering, yeah, it'll be a sight to see.
Do you see, without getting you in trouble, what was the issue with that caused the technical foul?
I don't think there's anything that I could say that wouldn't get me in trouble. You did see our last, okay. And then, like, I already got fined, so, yeah, I'm gonna leave that one alone, man. That's, wow.
70 points in the paint, though, for Detroit tonight. Just what were they doing early, specifically in that second and third quarter? That
Grown man basketball. I mean, there's no simple, like, we had a plan to meet their aggression and physicality with physicality and force. And in the first half, we weren't prepared for it. They scored 44 points in the first half in the paint. In the second half, 26. Okay. But you can't let a team like that do that because it gains confidence. Like, they don't shoot the three ball like that. But when you see the ball go through the basket, now all of a sudden, the basket just opens up, and before you know it, people are knocking down shots. So, a massive amount of respect to them and big, like that is, they have a good team, a physical team, a team that they should be proud of. That's good basketball, in my opinion.
We talked about it in the last couple of days a little bit, but just from these last few games, even tonight, it felt like you guys were, a little more physical, even though you were down big at times. What has kind of maybe clicked for some of these guys to kind of turn the corner to have maybe a little more fight in some of these games than before?
I mean, if you just look at the last 3 games from the very first Portland game, we went big with Keegan at the 3. And I think that those big guys on the interior, they help the confidence that, first of all, anything that comes off of that backboard is ours. Anything that drives down the lane is going to be contested. And when you as a perimeter player have that behind you, it's just a confidence that I can be a little bit more aggressive. Reds, which is our switching, we want to switch up. We don't want to switch and be the first to hit. When we want to grab, hold, and control, and when I go to red, I want to move up the floor. I want to touch you first. And I think a little bit more of that, like I said tonight, like that is a team that does that, and they did it better than us in the first half. In the second half, we were better. But for these last 3 games plus this one, guys have been fantastic, and ultimate respect to them all for their effort.
Doug, first of all, do you have any news on Keegan and how much of a concern is that?
No, I don't. As soon as I do, you guys will. Yeah, but I mean, he's going to be, as you can see, I mean, he's always missed. All that he brings to the game, size, athleticism, defense, shooting. I mean, yeah, so hopefully we have him back.
And then, when you look at DeMar, like how much do you just appreciate, like, him staying committed, bought in, and I don't know what any other words you want to use to describe like how professional.
Professional, tremendous, spectacular, true pro, always prepared. They're just, there's not enough adjectives to describe him and how I respect how he goes about his business. Anything that I ask of him, he's willing. He's paying attention to the game. So when I ask him, what do you see? He's like, D, I see this. I think we can do that. And I know from being out there that, I have a different vantage point sometimes. So you got to depend on your players and trust them in some moments. And putting the ball in his hands, he's going to try to make the right decision. Just an honor to coach him. Yeah.
Doug, shortly before the game started, a report came out from Chris Haynes saying that basically Malik Monk is being made available to teams around the league for trade. Can you confirm or deny that? And if it's true, given Malik's history with this team, the fans, his popularity here, what allowed that? What happened to get to this point?
That's a Scotty B question. I mean, I don't have anything there, but I love Malik. Always have. I mean, what we're trying to do here is bigger than any one player, two players, anything. We're trying to set something that is sustainable, and we just changed things up in this particular moment. I mean, he got back in the game, so nothing personal, nothing like that. And I've told him that, love him to death, but we're trying to shake things up, and we're going to figure out how to find a way to be, first of all, competing at a really high level and playing to our standard, a particular standard. And to, earlier with Ham, what you see over there is a lot of what we want. And it is a physical, aggressive, in-your-face style of basketball that relies on defense first and foremost.
Knowing you're not the guy that pulls the triggers on these deals, do you expect Malik to be with you guys at the end of the season?
Until otherwise, I expect him to be here for his contract. He's signed to be a Sacramento King. He's going to be a Sacramento King. If something else happens, that goes when trades and all that stuff come into play. You never know. When I was here in this jersey, I didn't expect to get traded. It did happen, though.
Doug, I believe it was your first sub was Dylan coming in for Precious rather than Max. I don't think we've seen that yet this year.
We saw it last game. We
gotcha.
played both of those bigs. Yeah.
Okay. How much of that has to do with the matchup with Jalen and Isaiah out there compared to something that you want to explore?
There are parts of it that is about the opposition, but we're also finding things for ourselves. I think Dylan at the 5 is a rim protector, energy, shot blocker, lob threat, stretching the floor. And then Max has the ability, in my opinion, to step out and, be a connector and play at the 4 sometimes. And we've worked on continuity of playing two bigs and working through that. The one thing that we want to do is make sure that we rebound in that basketball. They didn't do it at an incredible rate in that first half, but in the second half they were quite a bit better. But we had the game plan, and part of that was taking Precious out so we could talk to him about what I saw and have Woody speak to him. But I think you'll see that more often. Love both of those kids. They do, and Precious as well. That kind of rotation has been good in these last 4 games.
Doug, big shoes to fill for Neek starting the second half in place of Keegan, especially defensively. I thought he put in a really good shift, especially in that fourth quarter. Yeah. What do you make of a rookie just taking the opportunities given to him?
He continues to grow. I was happy to see him knock down that 3. Just trying to make sure that he's growing. One of the areas is when he gets the ball, I don't want him looking around. Go. You got the ability to go. Put pressure on everybody. Make them run with you. His physicality on defense, trying to accept the challenge with Cade. There was one right in front of our bench where he jumped at the end, and that's learning how to accept the physicality, get your feet quickly, and jump and contest without fouling. I like the attack on the rim. I told him, listen, if you get a chance, don't be shy. Go introduce yourself, say hello, and that can go a couple of different ways, and that's all right because you got to find out about that. And it was really good to see him get downhill and attack the rim. Great young player, man, and it's a lot of fun to watch them figure it out on the fly, because it can be difficult sometimes, and no better way than playing against one of the 1, 2, 3 top defenses in the league with physicality and all that to start to figure it out for him. So super excited with what I saw from him, especially in that second half. Thank you. Merry Christmas to you guys. Yeah.